All right, guys, welcome back to another episode with myself, Luke. So I hope you're having a fantastic day. So yeah, everything is pretty much in the red. We're still in extreme fear. Altcoin season is dead. And yeah, people are absolutely panicking with crypto. So we're going to jump into the Bitcoin price in just a second. We'll also talk about some of the altcoins, the latest Bitcoin price dip, etc. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead, subscribe, where I try to give you as much information about Bitcoin as possible and other altcoins as well. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into the Bitcoin price, shall we? So if you've been following me, so my subscribers, if you've been following me, you know very well the last few videos we've been talking about how this candle wick is probably now going to get filled up. We have broken below our $68,000 of support. I mean, it's not really support when we've had this huge crash to the downside, and Bitcoin will continue to crash. So what is the good news? Well, the good news is that we're probably going to buy Bitcoin a lot cheaper before the next cycle. If you're jumping into altcoins now, think because of a relief rally, just be careful. Of course, everything I say is not financial advice, but we're probably going to go lower with Bitcoin, which means then the altcoins are going to go even lower as well. So most of these things are going to lose 90 odd percent, 98, 99% with the altcoins, and Bitcoin is on its way down to 60,000 US dollars. So I'll be buying around these prices, and I do believe we'll probably go lower than 60,000. What's my price target? Well, I'm going to show you that in just a second, but let's just zoom in and check this out. So the 200 EMA, of course, was broken last week. We did have a rebound, but it's just, a dead cat bounce. If we go to the daily, we had this bounce back up, and we're rolling over right now. So it's basically another dead cat bounce. That's basically what it is. And we are most likely, I'm 80-90% sure we're going to come down and refill this candle wick here. So if you're shorting this, we spoke about a nice short. I think it was like 11 or 12 to risk to reward ratio, 12 to 1 risk to reward ratio if we short the market here. One thing a lot of people are doing is shorting altcoins, because the altcoins are obviously going to bleed out. So another possibility to make some gains is to short the altcoins, or like we spoke about, shorting this candle wick here down to 60,000. We've still got another, if you're going to take this trade from this point, we've still got another, almost 10% there. Of course, if you use leverage, let's imagine you use 10%, 10x leverage, then you make a nice 100% here. So for me, I'm not shorting anything at this moment. Maybe I might short as soon as Bitcoin starts dumping like that, then short. Maybe I'll look into shorting some of the altcoins, maybe Solana, Sui, etc. So where are we going then? Basically in the short term, well, the short term is 60k. The long term, mid to long term, we're looking at even lower prices. If we look at the Fibonacci, what's really interesting is what is the lowest point where I think we could go. Of course, I have no idea. It's just my speculation, so please do not base any of your trades or any of your buys on what I'm saying. So two prices that I'm looking at is the golden pocket, the 0.618 level, all the way down here at 58,000, which is not too far from our basically this trade filling up at 60k. So that candle wick we've just said. Worst case scenario is that we come all the way back down to the $40,000 range, which I would not rule that out. I think we dropped like 70% from the cycle high last time, and so if we do drop 70%, then we're looking at between 30 to 37, which is interesting again because it's almost hitting this level of the 0.786 here. Personally, I don't think we're going to go any lower than 40k, but what I'm looking at is basically to DCA into these areas here. So let me just draw a rectangle where I want to get in. I want to get in around the 60,000 down to the $40,000 range. So this will be the area where I will be dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin. As regards the altcoins, we're looking at between a $1,500 to $1,000 Ethereum. So as soon as we go below 1,500, I'll be jumping into that, and Solana, as soon as we go below $50, I'll also be looking at that as well. Other coins, maybe Chainlink and Avalanche, Sui, still I think we could easily go drop another 50-60% with those coins. But yeah, the altcoins, the bleed out again as Bitcoin dips below 67k. So the market. Okay, we looked like we had hopium the other day with the dead cat bounce. Again, people get too optimistic when we see a relief rally. People start jumping back in again and FOMOing in. But you just have to be careful. For me, of course, not financial advice, don't FOMO in right now or put all your money in at this moment. What you want to do is wait for this candle wick to be filled up. We go back into that range between 40 to 60,000, and then if you've got any money on the sidelines, then you want to start slowly but surely DCA, dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin in these price zones, because we will have a bull run again, and the next one will be even more. We'll go even higher than 127,000 for the next bull run. So who knows, 500,000, 600,000 the next bull run. So if you're DCAing into this area here, then you're setting yourself up nicely for the next run. For the altcoins, a bit more speculative, of course. You have to be very careful. You have to believe in it's not even about believing in the projects, but yeah, altcoins, they do go up a lot of X's, but the downside is they do lose over 90% of their value. So if you're holding altcoins, I don't want to be a bearer of bad news, but if you're still holding on to altcoins, then you're gonna have a slow death, a slow bleed for this cycle, because they most likely will go down even further. So the best thing to do right now is to be in Bitcoin. What's interesting is to see what the Bitcoin dominance is like. Let's have a look. BTC dominance chart. Let's have a look at this together. BTCD, and we're sitting at 59% over the last 10 years. So yeah, let's go on trading view, get the candle wicks. There we go. Look, so let's get rid of the EMA. And sadly, yeah, we're not going to go down to these levels, as we've spoken about with the altcoins. Altcoin season will come eventually. I think now it's going to come at a time when it's unexpected. But yeah, we'll probably come up and fill this candle wick here back up to 6. I will not be surprised if we come back up with a dominance to about 63% over the next few weeks, month or two, before we start heading back down in terms of the dominance. So yeah, altcoin season is pretty dead. Well, dead. It hasn't even started. We've had rallies, of course, but right now, best bet to do is probably start looking at Bitcoin. It's the safer asset in crypto. Let me know in the comments what you think, where you think we're heading with Bitcoin. But yeah, I don't want to be a bearer of bad news, but that's just the life of a crypto cycle. Probably going to spiral back down into these lower price zones. Altcoins are going to bleed out even more before we rally back up. But the good news is we can buy altcoins, buy Bitcoin a lot cheaper. So again, let me know in the comment section below. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you next time with another video. Goodbye.